I'm 85 years old. My son called last week and said, "Mom, we need to talk about your living situation." I knew what that meant. He's been hinting at it for months. Assisted living, a facility somewhere I'd be safe. I'm Beatrice, and I want to tell you what I've learned about growing older and needing help. Because the options everyone talks about, moving in with family, hiring caregivers, going to a facility, they're not the only choices, and sometimes they're not even the best ones. If you're younger than me, you might be thinking about this for your parents. If you're my age, you're probably thinking about it for yourself. Either way, I've been through most of it, and I want to tell you what actually worked and what didn't. After Edward passed, I lived alone for the first time in my life. 48 years of marriage, and then suddenly just me. At first, it was manageable. I could cook, clean, take care of my responsibilities. The house was quiet, but I told myself I didn't mind. Told myself I even liked it. Then things started to shift. Small things at first. I'd get out of breath walking up the stairs. My hands would tremble opening jars. I'd walk into a room and forget why I was there. One morning I slipped stepping out of the shower. Caught myself on the sink. Didn't fall, but it shook me. That night, lying in bed, I thought, what if next time I don't catch myself? What if I fall and nobody knows for days? So I called my son and asked if I could stay with him for a while, just until I felt steadier. He said yes right away, said I should have come sooner. His wife was welcoming. My grandchildren were excited. The first week felt good. Family meals, laughter, conversation. I felt needed again. But then reality settled in. My son and his wife both work. The children have school, friends, activities. By the second week, I was alone in their house most of the day, just like I had been in mine. Except this time it wasn't my space. Little tensions started creeping in. "Mom, maybe go easy on the salt." "Mom, could you lower the TV? The kids are studying." "Mom, we're heading out Saturday. You'll be all right here, right?" They weren't being unkind. They were just living their lives. And I didn't quite fit into them. One evening I overheard my son talking on the phone with his sister. I know it's the right thing, but it's a lot. I can't even relax without worrying about her. I wasn't meant to hear it, but I did. And I understood something then. Living with family doesn't always ease loneliness. Sometimes it deepens it. Because you're surrounded by people and still feel like you don't belong. After about 3 months, I told him I was going back home. He worried about my safety, but I insisted. I needed my own place again. Needed to stop feeling like I was in the way. Being back home felt like relief, but also reality. The stairs felt steeper, cooking wore me out. I dropped things more often, forgot things more often. One afternoon, trying to replace a light bulb, my hands shook so badly I had to stop. I stood there holding the bulb thinking, this is how it begins. This is how you lose your independence. So I decided to get help. Someone to come in a few times a week. Cook, clean, run errands. The first woman was named Gloria. Mid-50s, kind, efficient. At first, having someone in my home felt strange. She moved things around, reorganized my kitchen, but I got used to it. And it helped until the cost became clear. Even part-time help ran about $3,100 a month. My retirement income covered maybe a third of that. I had savings, but watching it shrink month after month wasn't something I could ignore. Then there were the small frustrations. I like washing dishes right away. Gloria liked to wait. I fold things a certain way. She had her own system. Little things, but they mattered. It was my home, yet I felt like I was adjusting to someone else. Then she left. Family situation. Couldn't return. So I started over. New person, new routine. The third helper stayed a few weeks. The next barely lasted days. Every time I had to explain everything again, where things go, how I manage, what I need. It wore me down, and the cost kept rising. Eventually, I stopped the service. That's when my son found a place, an assisted living facility about 10 minutes away. $3,200 a month, clean, well-reviewed, with medical staff available. He suggested I try it for a month. Just to see, Mom. I agreed, mostly because I was too tired to keep searching on my own. Moving in felt strange, like checking into a place I didn't belong. My room was tidy but impersonal. It didn't feel like home. The first few days were manageable. I met some residents. We shared meals, played games. But by the end of the week, I began to feel confined. Wake up at 6:30, breakfast at 7:30, lunch at noon, dinner at 5. I've never eaten dinner at 5 in my life. I like staying up late with a book. But at 9, the hallway lights dimmed. If my light was still on, someone would knock. Ms. Beatrice, it's time to rest now. Time to rest. I'm 85 years old. I've lived a full life making my own choices. And now someone else was deciding when I should sleep. One evening, I wanted to step outside. The air was cool, the sky clear. I walked toward the door, but a staff member stopped me. Outdoor hours ended at 7, safety policy. Safety policy. Those words felt like a cage. The hardest part was that I wasn't completely helpless. I could still think, still walk, still manage many things. But I was living like I couldn't. After 3 weeks, I called my son and told him I was leaving. Mom, you said you'd try for a month. This isn't living, I told him. I'd rather struggle at home than feel trapped somewhere else. When I left, the sunlight felt warmer. The air felt freer. But back home, nothing had really changed. I still struggled, still got tired, still felt uncertain at times. I had tried everything, family, caregivers, facilities. None of it felt right. For a few days, I just sat by the window watching the street, thinking about what to do next. Then one afternoon, I walked to the small shop nearby. Not the big one, that's too far now, just the one a few blocks away. On the way, I saw my neighbor Daniel. He lives a couple of houses down. Mid-30s, always in a rush. He was on his phone, clearly stressed. I can't leave work early again, he said. I'll lose my job. He ended the call and just stood there, looking overwhelmed. I knew his situation. Single father, full-time job. His daughter is around 9. I walked over. Daniel, if you ever need someone to pick up your daughter from school, I pass by there every afternoon. He looked surprised. Oh, I couldn't ask that of you. You're not asking, I said. I'm offering. He hesitated, then nodded. Are you sure? I'm sure. What's her name? Sophie, 4th grade. I'll be there tomorrow. That's how it began. The next day I picked up Sophie and walked her home. She talked the entire way about school, her friends, her favorite subjects. When Daniel got home later, he brought over a plate of food. I made extra, please take it. I told him he didn't have to. He smiled. You're helping me, let me help you. It became our routine. I picked up Sophie each day. Daniel brought meals a few times a week. He helped fix small things around my house, showed me how to order groceries online, made sure I didn't have to carry heavy things. Sophie started leaving drawings on my fridge, calling me Miss B. One evening, Daniel said, "You've made things so much easier for us. I don't know how I managed before." I smiled. "You've helped me just as much." I had forgotten what it felt like to matter. That was the missing piece. I didn't need constant care. I needed purpose, connection, a reason to still be part of something. I'm not saying this works for everyone. Everyone's situation is different. But what I learned is this: there's a space between doing everything alone and giving up all control. You can accept help and still keep your independence. You can give something back without overexerting yourself. I spent thousands on services and still felt alone. Now I spend almost nothing and feel more connected than I have in years. Because money can pay for help, but it can't create relationships. Daniel doesn't help me because I pay him. He helps because we support each other. I still have something to offer: time, experience, presence. Getting older doesn't mean becoming useless. It just means your role changes. I'm 85. I live alone, but I'm not lonely. I'm not waiting for things to get worse. I'm living now, in a way that still feels like me. Maybe one day I'll need more help. Maybe I'll end up somewhere else. But right now I'm here, still part of the world, still connected, still myself. I'm grateful for this unexpected arrangement, for Daniel and Sophie, for neighbors who check in, for the chance to still give something back. And I'm grateful I didn't stop searching after the usual options didn't work, that I found something that truly fits my life. Thank you for listening, for sitting with me while I figure this out. If you come back again, I'll be here, still learning, still living. Take care of yourself, whatever that looks like for you.